Welcome. Hit me straight in my eyebrow bone. Fluffing around and then scrolling. Microphone wasn't plugged in. And welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany Brooke, and in today's video you will get to see a few days of my life staying here in the beautiful Ubud in Bali in Indonesia. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead, you can subscribe, and you can also follow me on my social media. I hope and my intentions for you watching this video is always for you to feel inspired and also for you just to follow along and see what I get up to staying here. My intentions for myself coming here to Ubud was really to take a break from my life in the Bukit. I have now been living in the Bukit for almost 3 months. My intention really for coming here to Ubud is really just to recalibrate and reconnect, refocus, and return to source. I actually arrived here yesterday. I started filming this vlog yesterday afternoon. However, when I was importing the clips into my laptop last night, I realized that they were blurry. This is also take 4 of starting the vlog. The first time I started filming, the microphone wasn't plugged in. And the second time, it was blurry. Third time this morning, again, I didn't have the microphone plugged in. And now this is the 4th time that we are starting the vlog. So welcome. For those of you who are new to my channel, I have been living here in Bali for 4 months now. I am a very active individual. I surf every day, at least since the 1st of June. I'm also a yogi. I'm on my mat. I'm also an entrepreneur as I am running an online business in the health and wellness space. I wanted to just take a break, really go in, be in the jungle, just take a break from my life in the Bukit. I love surfing, but it does make me very, very tired. My intention was just to come away, get back to a longer yoga practice, meditate twice a day, eat some healthy, maybe more raw vegan food, not that I'm a raw vegan. Really just get into a creative flow as well as a very good productive flow. I find for me, after surfing, after I eat, because I'm always very, very hungry, I usually go into a food coma. Wanted to come away and not be tired and just really get into the zone and really get into workflow mode. Also, I can talk about this a little bit later in the vlog. To be really honest, I was dealing with a little bit of overwhelm, also moving from a place of procrastination. I've had 2 incidences now where I've had some very strong anxiety and panic attacks. I wanted to just give some friendly, helpful points about how you can deal with and overcome your anxiety as well. And I'm going through a very exciting time for myself as an entrepreneur. I have been focusing more on creating content across all my social media platforms, and one of those being YouTube. That I'm trying to produce and be more consistent with my content. I love to do the sit down and talk and teach videos, but I also do love to vlog. For any of you who are watching, maybe you're just interested to watch my life here in Bali, or maybe you're here because you're interested in building your own online business. Maybe you are a yogi who is looking to make some more money so you're able to travel and support your healthy lifestyle. Maybe you are here at my channel because you want to pay off some debt and you have bills and you're planning for the future. Maybe you want to build a legacy empire to leave for your children. Either way, if you're following my channel, I really do hope that you always have fun watching the video and that you always feel inspired. Here's something super fun, and this is a series that I want to be doing on my YouTube channel. I am just about to now sign up for a hybrid level 1 Journey into Power yoga teacher training program. For those of you who know, I was a full-time yoga instructor up until last year, until when COVID came out. I haven't been teaching since last year. I taught a few private classes at the end of last year. To be really honest, it was actually really nice to take a break from teaching. However, I do want to get back into it. I also want to be brushing up on my yoga teaching skills because like any art form, we can never really become a master. We're always going to be improving. And I hope to be continuing doing yoga teacher trainings until, a long time into the future. We can always be evolving and becoming better versions of ourselves and as a yoga teacher. And this can also be a video if you want me to make this. My journey with yoga. I have been practicing yoga for 17 years and teaching for 14 years. I was trained originally by Baron Baptiste for Baptiste yoga. I never actually became a certified Baptiste teacher. However, that is something that I am moving towards getting my certification for that for next year, but more on that later. I did the level 1 journey into power, and that was back in 2007. It is a 3-week online program, which is wonderful because I cannot fly to the United States right now due to the funky travel restrictions. Okay, super fun. The registration and the payment is complete. I'm super excited. For those of you who know, my full-time work is now my Kangen water business. However, I really do wish to teach more towards the end of the year, at least after I do this program. I'd like to do some online classes or find somewhere here in Bali where I can teach. In the future, I am moving towards facilitating and putting together, yoga, surf, health, empowerment, retreats, experiences around the world. It's been a long time actually since I've done a teacher training. I think it was 2017 I actually got certified for anti-gravity, and I never actually ended up teaching. I was teaching for a little bit in Sydney before I left Sydney. I was teaching at a studio. Anti-gravity aerial yoga is wonderful. I never really got to teach that after that, and that's really the last yoga program that I took. So I'm really excited to do this. I forgot to mention as well, if you can see my eye, 2 days ago I went to surf at a new spot called Secrets. The waves were really massive. I did a funky duck dive and the rail of the board hit me straight in my eyebrow bone. So you can see I'm getting like bruising under here and up here. The lump has gone down here. So if you're looking at my eye and it looks a bit funny, that's what happened. I just got to Kanto Lampo Waterfall. However, it is closed until October 2021. There are many different waterfalls in Bali, and I've never been to one. So maybe I'll try a different one. Okay, next time. So I have arrived at Tukad Cepung Waterfall, and this one is open. weather is so beautiful right now. The sun is shining. I am just here in some workflow. Oh, it's gone very dark. I wanted to just share some light and guidance and just have a little chat about how to deal with anxiety and then also how to deal with procrastination and overwhelm when it comes to your business. In this month, earlier and last month, I experienced now 4 different times when I was experiencing anxiety, and I experienced a few of these were panic attacks. If you know about anxiety, it's never fun. Panic attacks are never fun. It was really, really unexpected that I had found myself in some situations where I was activated, where I was triggered by these situations. I haven't experienced that in more than a year. Oh, a stick just fell on my head. What's really interesting is that I really was mentally aware that I was going into overwhelm. By the time I tried to use my own coping mechanisms for dealing with anxiety, I was already in the thick of experiencing it. You know that feeling when you start to get anxiety under your skin and it just really starts to take over your whole energy, your whole being, everything. I realized that I also was experiencing and went into post-traumatic stress disorder. Maybe for some of you, you have experienced this as well. To my understanding of what post-traumatic stress disorder is, you're in a situation, somebody says something or something happens and you just instantly start to get triggered. And what's really interesting is that, yes, when for a lot of us humans, we have a very busy mind, and sometimes, you know, our thoughts can really go into overdrive, and this really causes us to add to the situation and start to make it worse. When you're experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder, it's almost like, for me at least, that something happens and I'm triggered or activated, and I instantly, my body, not just my mind, but my body really has a very strong reaction where it's like instantly taken back to these past experiences that I've had with trauma and with stress, and that's the situation in the current moment. It gets activated and it gets reminded of what has happened in the past. And it's really something that I have dealt with in the past, and from these 4 experiences that I had recently, it really has shown me that I still have a lot of inner work to deal with and unresolved issues to deal with. So I am aware of that. A coping mechanism that I would definitely recommend when you start to know that you start to worry or you're starting to get anxious is instantly, I would recommend, is just to come into your breath. And that's literally to feel and hear and experience your breath, like coming into your nose and taking slow, long, deep breaths, and even counting your breath, like inhale for 4 or 5 and then exhale for, 4, 5 or 7 breaths. Because when you start to connect to your breath, it can allow you to bring you back into the present moment rather than your mind and your energy playing from what's happened in the past or starting to anticipate and get overstimulated by maybe something that you think is going to happen in the future. And this is definitely a practice. That's definitely what I can recommend for when you start to experience anxiety, is to instantly drop into your breath, hear the breath, feel the breath, and really experience the breath. I recommend and encourage you to do when you are experiencing overwhelm is to also start to really come into your body. Move yourself out of your head and come into the experience of your body and really start to come into feeling the sensations of what's going on in your body. So literally, if you are standing or if you're sitting, really start to think about, like, how does my feet feel right now grounded? Because you want to ground yourself, moving from head really into your body and feeling yourself ground and to get back into a state of balance. Sitting down and really noticing your seat, your pelvis, your sit bones in the seat, or if you're standing and really noticing and feeling into the soles of your feet, into your legs. Also just starting to be present and witness these sensations that are happening in your body. Another thing that I do when I start to experience anxiety is for me personally, and it's different for everybody, but I like to remove myself, if I can, from the situation. So whether, like, say if you're in a room with somebody or you're in an environment, maybe it's best to just move yourself away, like give yourself some proximity. Another coping mechanism that helps me is to try to, in the moment, and this doesn't always work, but distract yourself by doing something that can shift the frequency and the energy within you and move the vibration to really get yourself into a good feeling state. In reflection afterwards, it's always really wonderful to have that discernment, self-reflection, and that self-awareness about what happened. Really, you also not run away from the situation within you that is happening within you. There is a sense of having to really sit through that and experience it, and let the experience and the feelings and the sensations, not try to like necessarily stop it, but really experience it so that you're having to deal with it. As we know, we can't run away from our problems. All we can do is really deal with them. Thinking about afterwards is, okay, what is really at the root of what's going on, the issue of what's going on, what is really going on? If we like almost reverse engineer, like, where is this anxiety coming from? And intuitively, we in a sense know, at least for me, I'm aware of what is happening. Obviously, that doesn't make it easier, but just having that awareness at first really does help you to be able to move through what you're experiencing. After your situation of anxiety and a panic attack is maybe afterwards, of course, you can do some yoga or go for a walk, do some journaling, make a nice, comforting, healthy, nutritious meal for yourself, do something that can shift the frequency, change the vibration within you. And of course, like, if this is something more serious, maybe you need to, seek out some professional help. I know for myself in the past, a couple of different times, actually a few different times in my life, I have sought out professional help. With professional help from a therapist, they're really trained to help you work through what you're going through. I can't tell you what to do, only you are the one that is able to help yourself. Okay, it said that my card was full, so I'm recording again. Basically, okay, so it cut out before. Basically, there are healthy ways to deal with your anxiety afterwards. In the moment is, for me, recommending connect with your breath, connect with the sensations in your body, move out of your head and into your body. Afterwards is write down what happened and figure it out there. Do some yoga, go for a walk, put yourself back into a good feeling state. Change the vibration from within. Really, if you are having some, major, more deep inner issues, maybe you need to speak to a professional. And I know for myself in the past, there are quite a few times that I have gone through therapy, and it's been wonderful. And the other thing that I wanted to chat about is if you're experiencing some overwhelm or procrastination when it comes to your business. As an entrepreneur, there are an endless amount of things that you can be doing daily, weekly, monthly, yearly for your business to keep it moving forward. As a new entrepreneur as well, there are many different things that I can be working on. And I do specifically have a list of my daily IPAs, my income producing activities, that I will try and hit to do every single day. And then on top of that, I have some other passion projects, some other things that I'm also doing which contribute towards my business. For me personally, in the last few weeks, I've become a little bit more overwhelmed with my workload, as well as I think when I go into overwhelm, I go into a little bit of procrastination. And sometimes when I procrastinate, it's too much for me and I just like freeze and don't do anything. There has been some really big swells. I have been dealing with a little bit of, having to have a balance with my work life, my surf life, with some social life as well. And so what I can offer some light on how to deal with your procrastination and overwhelm when it comes to your business is to really make lists, schedule and prioritize. Now, for me personally, I always talk about this, and I've talked about this in other videos before. I can link the card up here, speaking and sharing all about time blocking. I'll leave the card up here. Time blocking is wonderful. If you can figure out the times of the day, when you have your commitments that are either family or you're still working a job or whatever commitments you have, find ways around the day to really schedule in blocks of time for your business. Maybe you would love to sit down for 4 hours and work your business. However, maybe that's not possible. But instead, what's really wonderful is if you only have 15 to 30 minutes, be very intentional and focused with that 15 to 30 minutes. It's more productive to sit down and get really focused for 15 to 30 minutes on a task that you need to do for your business, rather than try to sit down for hours and be fluffing around and then scrolling, right? Like, that's just wasting time. And I know I am guilty of that. I really focus on being very intentional with having time blocking for my schedule. I use Google Calendar, an app online. You can access that. Or you can obviously use a written schedule. Now the battery ran out and there's a new battery inside. Basically, I'm all about time blocking. You can use either a written schedule or use your Google Calendar or any other app online for a calendar to schedule and time block. If you can really get clear on some of the tasks and things that you need to get done, and you don't even have to do this for business, but if you think about your week ahead or even your month ahead, try to really figure out what you need to get done daily, monthly, and then daily, weekly, and monthly, and then really just break it down and make priorities. Instead of maybe have like 25 things that you need to get done in a day, have priority, like pick 3 things that you fully need to get done in that day or that week, and work those until you get that done. And then just be very intentional and focused with your time when you're online or you're on your phone when you're working. We all have busy lives, and so it is really effective if you can have a list and you prioritize it and you have your schedules. Visually as well, when you see things, it's a very good reminder. Instead of like thinking all these things that you have to do in your head, it's really great to, visually have it down. And that way you stay more organized, you stay more focused, and you stay more disciplined. And that's really more effective in working towards being more successful with what you have to do for your business or with whatever it is for your life that you're needing to get done. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Being organized like that will help you to not be overwhelmed. That also ties into if you're procrastinating, that you're in overwhelm of like what you need to do. Instead of operating from that fear or that worry or that anxious state, find clarity, get organized, make a list, take a moment, find your breath to really come into the moment and think about what you need to be doing in the moment, in the day, in the week, in the month. I hope that makes sense. And this, of course, is all a practice, right? It's all a practice. Just a little bit of inspiration for you. Just know that you are capable of achieving and doing anything. Just know that you are worthy, you are capable, and you are all deserving.
Actually, the key is to really use the back leg, glutes and hamstring to lift up, okay? So knee comes in, lean forward, head goes toward the floor, and the back leg activate, hamstring, glute, and then that pulls me up.
Sunday. It is my last morning and time here in Ubud. I've had such a wonderful time. It's really been amazing to take a break. I'm at this very cute cafe and there's vegan food here. How good does this latte look? Okay, let's try it. Oh my God, it's incredible. I am going to film the end of the vlog here. I did get back to the Bukit yesterday. I left Ubud at lunchtime, and then when I got back, I went straight and I surfed. I'm finishing off the vlog here. I just wanted to review that yes, my intention for going away was to really reset and go away and just have some time to myself for work, to get into the creative flow, and just to have some downtime. And I definitely had that, and I'm super grateful for my trip. My trip already seems like it was weeks ago because, you know, I arrived yesterday, I surfed, I woke up this morning, got into my usual routine, come home, I've had lunch, and now I'm in some work flow. As much as I really love to surf every day, I think it's very healthy for me to take a break. I did this wonderful yoga workshop with Mark Robberds, which was just incredible. I highly value everything that Mark has to share when it comes to being on the mat and off the mat, and when it comes to all movement styles. I felt really weak during the workshop, but by the end of the workshop, and it's really interesting, I was really planning that I was going to put in some serious 8 to 10, 14-hour days. That didn't happen, but I did put in a lot of work for editing and some other work that I do for my business, IPAs. I created some content, did a bunch of things like that. And I'm super grateful that I really gave myself the space and time for that. Something that I'm really learning, that I think I'm always learning, and I'm sure maybe you can relate as well, is having no attachment, practicing non-attachment, and not having expectations. And whether these are expectations that we put on ourselves or what society or family or friends or other means, expectations and attachments lead ultimately to suffering. And when we really learn to let go and be in the present and just really accept things how they are, people, places, things how they are, it allows us to be more in presence, and it allows us more to see that shadow work, that inner work of where we really do need to let go and try to not have so much expectation or control over things. My phase of my life right now, I'm really the one that is putting the most expectation on myself when it comes to my passions for surfing, to become better, for yoga, to always become more evolved with my practice and who I am as a person. And then also with my business, I put pressure on myself always to be moving faster in a way than what I would be. I think what I've been learning over the last few months is that it's so important to have your plan and to have these intentions, these goals, these desires, and to take aligned action on your plan. Also to give yourself the grace and compassion to really allow yourself to ebb and flow with the natural rhythm and dynamic of life. Because we in our minds think, okay, it needs to be like this with whatever it is for your life, for me, for my business, for my practice, for surfing. However, things don't always go that way, and it's really allowing yourself to have the flexibility and being able to be resilient and being able to adapt and just be the best version that you can be when it comes to showing up in every facet of your life. I really do feel like I have embodied this more since I've been away in Ubud. I had the time, I was at this beautiful waterfall, I ate some delicious food, I had an incredible yoga workshop, I had some beautiful meditations that I did. Now as I'm reflecting coming back into my regular Bukit life, which I'm so grateful for, which I absolutely love. I do feel now where some areas where I need to be more gentle with myself, have more compassion with myself, and to also see the areas of my life where I kind of need to pull up my socks a little bit more and stay more focused, more organized, and more disciplined. I really do hope that now with this embodied energy of just being away for a few days, that hopefully in the future moving forwards, and maybe you can relate and maybe this resonates with you as well, that we can do hard things and we don't have to get caught up in overwhelm. And there are ways that we can deal with our anxiety. And when we know that we're moving from this place of procrastination, just knowing that we don't need to be fearful or scared or worried, that really everything is happening as it should be, and just always just to practice having this compassion with ourselves. That's it for my vlog. I do hope that you've enjoyed the vlog, and I hope that you found some value with this and you've enjoyed seeing just a few days of my life in Ubud. I would definitely see you next time. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love the support. Hit the subscribe button. You can share it with anybody that you feel needs some light. You can also follow me on my social media. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye!